Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nisa and today I will present a Harvard Business School case April in 2020. And this is written by David Biofi and Daniel Fisher. This case explains the big challenge Apple faced in 2020. You know, you know very well that Apple was very successful, but its main products were no longer growing as fast as before. Tim Cook, the CEO at that time, had to decide if Apple should continue focusing on hardware or grow more through services. And before I give you the main points of today's discussions, I will give you a brief summary from the case. And yeah, let's start with the Apple, the fact with Apple that became one of the biggest companies in the world. The iPhone, iPad, and Mac made Apple very successful. But however, in yeah, however, in 2020, these products become mature. Most people, the term for mature means that these these brands is not is not a young brand anymore. I mean, like it's not new anymore, and most people already had them because of the powerful of the devices, and customers only bought new devices when they wanted to replace their old ones. And Apple, due to this, of course, they also face some problems, the same problems with every brand out there. First, many people kept their phones longer because new phones did not have many exciting new features. Uh, the second problems they face is that 5G phones were coming, but people were expected to change to them slowly. And the third problem is that the trade war between the United States and China made business more difficult. And finally, at that time in 2020, as what you know, COVID-19 affected factories, supply chains, and customer spending around the world. And that's the situations that Apple faced at that time. And so, because hardware sales became slower, Tim Cook wanted Apple to earn more money from services. Apple already had more than 1 billion iPhone users. This fact gave Apple a great chance to sell more services to its loyal customers. If I can mention some of the Apple services that are Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Pay, iCloud, right? And those services give Apple regular income because customers pay every month or every year by subscribing. And by the end of 2019, services made almost 20% of Apple's total revenue. That's that's quite insane, in my opinion, for a big company that previously depending on their hardware selling. And Apple products work very well together. Like for example, they have their own ecosystem that only the Apple users have. For example, an iPhone can connect easily with Mac, Apple Watch, AirPods, and iCloud. This makes customers happy because everything is simple to use. It also makes many customers stay with Apple instead of changing to another brand. But there is one big question. Tim Cook, uh, what is it? I'm sorry. Tim Cook had this question in his mind all that time. That is, should Apple continue to be a hardware first company or should Apple become a service first company? And of course, every option will have an impact, will have affected something. And how to say it? Yeah. And that is the big questions that Tim Cook had to face at the time. Now, the what is it? The dilemma of these questions is that if Apple focuses on hardware, it can keep its premium image and strong ecosystem. But if Apple focuses on services, it can reach more customers and earn more regular income. And that was the the biggest decision for Apple's future. Now, from this case, I think Apple gives us many good ideas for our organization. First, a school should not only focus on getting new students. Yeah, a school should also build a long relationship, yeah, with the students after they graduate. So by using this same, how to say, yeah, same logical thing, um, we can create something like an alumni community, which is what we know already. I think we already try to what is it, always try to communicate with the alumni, yeah, by asking them to invite them as a key speaker of our events and many other things that related to them. And then also how that we also can create career guidance for our alumni, and also online learning training programs, and yeah, etc. That we need to build that long relationship, so that they have kind of like loyal to us too, so that yeah, I mean, like, they still want to be with us, and also and and can influence the others to join our organization too. And this is quite similar with Apple's service strategy. And next, that Apple has a strong ecosystems. Our program can build, and by looking at that, I think our program can build the same strategy like Apple, by connecting students, teachers, parents, alumni, universities, and companies, and that we will make an ecosystem that only the ICP community have that. And if everyone stays connected, the school becomes stronger, the programs become stronger. And I think that's very good strategy for us. Next one is that Apple doesn't compete by having the cheapest products. As well, we know their products, what is it? I'm sorry. Compared to another brands, it's quite high. Yeah, quite pricey. But that high, that pricey, expensive look with a high price is actually comes with a very good quality. They're giving us high quality and a great user experience, and that's fair. We pay more we give more we give lots high price. No, sorry. We give them more money, and they give us high quality, and that's a win-win solutions. and and by with the same logic, we need to take that strategy serious. I mean, we can give them high price, but also don't forget that we, as the part of the ICP community, we need to give them the same high quality, the same price for that. So we need to focus on how to increase our education quality, our English skills, leadership, technology, and international learning, so that we can give the same experience, the same high price for that. And that um, yeah, we can adapt what Apple already did for their brain. And I know it's very difficult for Apple at the time to decide whether to keep its system closed. You mean by just within their own products, or open to more users. And this time, the ICP program kind of like have the same challenge. So yeah, it's difficult situation for, I think, for every business to see. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. As what I said, um, if we yeah, if we can give high quality, um, we can give the best experience to the students, to the parents, to the environment. So if yeah, you can, if we can help more people, we can give them best experience, we can give them best quality that we can ever give. More and more we can develop more. And I think, yeah, I know people have their own time for to improve, to have a progress in within their self. And this case, what is it? Yeah, I mean, like, this case taught leadership to us. I before Tim Cook, as what we know, the founder and the previous CEO was Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs was creative and loved making amazing new products. But this time, from this case, we kind of get to know the new CEO at the time, which is Tim Cook. From this case, he was described as a calm, careful, and good at planning person. He focuses on business, services, and long-term growth. And both of them are very what is it, important leader. They have their own charm. They have their different leadership style, but both of them has what is it, has their own portion. Steve Jobs helped Apple to become famous, and Tim Cook helped Apple to continue growing in a changing market. And a good leader must know what the company or organization needs at the right time. Um, that's that's the main point for this case. And to conclude, Apple's biggest challenge in 2020 was not only selling more iPhones. No, the real challenge was changing from a hardware company to a company that also earns money from services while keeping its strong ecosystem, is what we know. From this case, I learned that success comes from adapting to change. The key word is change. Building long-term relationship with customers and always giving value. I think that's the very things that's very important. Value, giving value. And our school can learn the same lesson by building strong relationship with students, parents, and the environment around us. Keeping high quality, that's very important to increase our competences as an educators, as a persons, as someone that can give value to others. And I think that's all for the closure from my video, and thank you very much for listening and watching this video, and see you next problem. And that's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.